Alright, so moving on to our next section, after we moved on from area of parallelograms, we're going to area of triangles. And so we've got the area of triangles dealing with chapter 12, section 4 in this case. Okay, so the area of a triangle is very similar to the area of a rectangle or a parallelogram, except instead of just taking base times height, you're taking the base and the height and you're dividing it by 2. So again, your base is the entire length of the bottom, and then your height is that part. And the reason why it's 1/2 of it is because if we took this half of the triangle and flipped it around over here, we'd end up with a nice little rectangle, or a parallelogram rectangle, that ends with half of the base times the height. Okay, so that's how this works out and why it's 1/2 base times height. Okay, so remember that formula for your triangle. Alright, so let's do 2 quick examples. So the first one, we have a base of, let's say it's 8 and a height of 10. Okay, and we'll say this is in centimeters and centimeters. So we have our base and our height, and what we want to do is we want to find what our area would be. So we'd plug it into the formula of 1/2 times 8 times 10 to find our answer, which gets us, that's right, 40 centimeters squared. Okay. Now with the second one, we have a right triangle, and we know the outside edges. We'll say this is 3 meters, 4 meters, 5 meters. And we want to find the area of this. Now with a right triangle, what you end up doing is you just take the legs of that right triangle, multiply them, and divide by 2. So with this one, we'd end up with a 1/2 times 4 times 3. Multiply all those together, and we end up with an area of 6 meters squared. Okay, and that would be the area. Now, let's say with this example, let's say my height was missing again with the blue triangle. So my height is missing, but I know that the area was, let's go with 20. So I know that the area was 20 centimeters squared, and I want to know what h was. So let's do it in a different color. Let's do it in green. So we would set it up as 20 is equal to 1/2 times 8 times x. Now there's a few different ways you could do it. You can move the 1/2 first, or what I will do is I'm going to multiply those two together, getting us 20 is equal to 4x, and then I solve for x. So I divide both sides by 4, getting me x is equal to 5, meaning that my height would end up being 5 centimeters. Okay, so that's your area of a triangle. Okay, so here's your section homework, 422, numbers 1 through 29. All right, so make sure you work on that, dealing with the area of a triangle.